Good evening, YouTube Pipers. Welcome back to another chat at the Piper's table. The Piper's plywood table. It's got sawwood legs and it's in an unfinished garage. It's a classy joint. What? I kind of like it rustic myself. The only thing that would make it better was if, you know those helmets that people used to wear that had like the two beer cans with the straws coming down? I would kind of like one of those that has an espresso maker on it that just kind of the dual drip comes right down and then you just have a pipe, have a little sip. Now that would be something. Somebody should invent that, and I don't even really need a cut of the money. Just send me one of the devices, please. Anyways, welcome to the Piper's Table. I've had a really awesome pipe smoking evening. This is my third bowl of the evening. Man, I don't know if it's like I've finally been doing this for long enough that for whatever reason, just yesterday the nicotine decided to hit and I'm addicted now, officially, or if it's just the fact that we're in the we're in autumn season now. It's October 1st. A week ago I was wearing shorts and a tank top, and now I've got a flannel and a beanie on. It happens quick up here. But anyways, I like last night I went to bed at 8. I go to bed pretty early, but I swear I don't know if I was awake with my eyes closed or lucid dreaming to the point where I might as well have been awake with my eyes closed. Either way, I was thinking about tobacco so much and all these beautiful, wonderful pipe tobaccos that I have, the ones that I know I'm going to get into soon, the ones that I've never tried that I want to try, but I couldn't sleep. This is like I couldn't sleep, and I haven't had a pipe in a couple of days. So today I kind of made up for it. I've been smoking basically ever since I got home from work. Went for a nice hike with my family, and I took the largest bowl that I own, uh, a Savinelli Tundra from their like XXL series, and it holds a troll or giant sized portion of tobacco. I imagine in The Hobbit when Bilbo is and the dwarves have the run-in with the troll. If those trolls smoke pipes, this XL would be decent. It was a lot of tobacco, so it was awesome. So I started with that, and now I'm onto this, which I love this pipe. It's a La Roca. It was a basket pipe. I've talked about before. I paid like 30 or $35 for it, but I love the shape. It's a perfect weight. It's really comfortable, and honestly, it is one of the best smoking pipes that I own. Um, and I own a few higher end pipes that I've coughed up a couple of $100 for, and this $35 basket pipe really holds its own up against them. And the reason why I'm bringing that up again is if you're new to piping and you're just starting your pipe journey and you happen to stumble across this video, don't be intimidated or overwhelmed by the vast offering of pipes. Like don't get on the internet and see, oh, well, this pipe is like $280, $450, $600, whatever, and this pipe is only $60. And then, because kind of like I kind of get in that territory a little bit with work boots, where it's like this pair of work boots is $150, this pair is $300, but you actually save money by buying the $300 pair because they're nicer, you're more comfortable, you're happier, you don't have to replace them in another year. Pipes, it's not always like that. Um, this is a perfect example. $35 pipe, one of my favorite pipes. Smoke it all the time. And I got it because it was cheap and it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I broke it or lost it. But it smokes so well, I love it so much. I think it might hurt my feelings if anything ever happened to it at this point. But point is, buy whatever pipe matches your budget. Find a design that you like and just go for it and smoke it and enjoy it. And don't let anybody with pretentious opinions deter you or sway you in your journey. If you want to spend $600 on a pipe, I applaud you. That's awesome. What an heirloom. But you don't have to do that. Anyways, rambling. I'm kind of rambling today. Kind of always do, huh? But yeah, so I made up for it. I think it's been smoking a lot, but what I'm smoking out of this La Roca basket pipe this afternoon is a blend that is quickly becoming one of my favorites. Um, there's a cool kind of history, part of my own personal history, tobacco culture in America in general, and there's a kind of a lot going on. I'm gonna do my best to kind of just like blend all this together, um, so it's not drawn out too long. But anyways, what I'm smoking is an LJ Peretti's Royal. Now, LJ Peretti is one of the oldest tobacconists in our country. We're in America. For those of you who are watching outside of America, and they've, I, I think it was that they started in like 1870, or the founder immigrated here in 1870. But I remember reading like in 1892, they were a full-fledged brick and mortar, open to the public tobacco shop, and it started out um, with hand rolled cigars and evolved into pipes. But it's in Boston. It's in the Park Square area of Boston, which is a really cool historic area. It's a really, really cool location. Um, and one of the things that really struck me about LJ Peretti is there's some old tobacconists who they just sell other people's blends and other people's stuff, which is great. But LJ Peretti blends their own, and they've been blending their own house blends for over 150 years now. And this knowledge, these recipes, they've been passed along the way to current day. And you can read about their history online, ljperetti.com, which you should check out for various reasons. But I mean, they just had like notebooks, like thick notebooks with all these different blends. And last time I was in there, which was in March, I got to spend a little bit of time talking to Steve, the current president and owner, and he's blending up all these tobaccos. I got a chance to talk to him. He was a super cool guy, very friendly, very personable, and it's just kind of neat because this is what he does. You know, he gets to blend tobacco and enjoy tobacco all day for a living, and it was kind of almost awe-inspiring to be in the presence of a man who runs this shop, and this is the heritage, the cultural heritage that's come into his hands that he's carrying on. And still blend these tobaccos, still got the recipe books, still doing everything the old way. Um, but the other thing that I thought was really something special about LJ Peretti is although they sell a lot of cigars and they offer a lot of really high-end cigars, they are predominantly a pipe shop. They are predominantly pipe enthusiasts and pipe tobacco connoisseurs. Now they smoke cigars too, but they're mostly into pipes. So that was really cool to get to talk to them about it. And I got to meet Todd, who is a pipe maker. So if you want to buy a beautiful um, pipe that is of heirloom quality, handmade by a really cool guy that's here in America, check out Todd's Pipes. And he's got like an Instagram. You can find his pipes are on their website. You can read about his story. They've got like a little blog. They got all kinds of stuff. They got a lot of information. You should definitely check out the site. Plus, you can order online and they'll mail you tobacco pretty much anywhere. And they've got very fair prices for, I mean, honestly, probably some of the best quality tobacco you're going to come across. I don't care if you're in America or Europe or anywhere else. They've been around for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time. It's definitely quality of the highest shelf. So that's cool too. You know, it's it's accessible. It's readily available. You can get online right now and buy 5 pounds of it if you want, and it's some of the best. So definitely check it out. I'm becoming a big fan of LJ Praise. I got 6 of their blends out here in the workshop. I've pretty much only kept jars of Peretti blends out here in my workshop, and whenever I'm out here carving or doing any woodworking or anything like that, I've been trying to really spend some time with the different blends and just getting to know them. And the blend Royal, it's it's really kind of solidified a few things for me. So I've really become an English and Balkan enthusiast. I think that is hands down my favorite style of tobacco. Um, and you know, on my pipe journey, the things about them that I really like have kind of seemed to, I guess I shouldn't say evolve, but the more time I've spent with different blends, I'm starting to realize flavor profiles that I really like and what components are attached to those flavor profiles, and then kind of seeking it out. And this one has kind of solidified a few things for me, and that is my personal palate. I like the Oriental forwards. I like enough Latakia that there's that good sweet smokiness and kind of those barbecue type notes that we all are familiar with who enjoy Latakia. But I really like the spicy, sweet, tangy melange of flavors that these Oriental leaves offer. And I have realized that my favorite, I think I'm pronouncing this right, is the Yeninje. Yeninje. That's Yenidje. And that is an Oriental leaf that has been cultivated in the region like of northern Thrace since the 1500s. So kind of the story on that is it's believed that the seeds that made it to Thrace in the 1500s originally came from a native Venezuelan tobacco and brought there. And this is kind of like this would be your like heirloom seeds for these different kinds of Oriental Bosmas that so many of us who enjoy these English and Balkan tobaccos love. Um, and I think that the Yeninje it's kind of a type of these two different Bosmas that grow in this one region. But it's it's such an interesting leaf. I've spent a lot of time smoking some Oriental Forward blends over the last year, and I still haven't quite figured out how to explain it very well, but I still haven't quite pinpointed, I guess is what I should say. But the things that I'm starting to be able to pick out the flavor nuances, it's like this. And I've talked about this before. I gotta relight this since I'm hold on. It's so good. I gotta keep enjoying it. But now that I cleared up memory on my phone, I don't need to be in a hurry anyways. Um, the best way I know how to describe it is if you grew up with a wood stove, or you currently use a wood stove, and you live in the north or anywhere in the boreal forest regions of the world, you have a lot of birch. And birch is one of those woods that burns really well, whether it's green or dry. And when you put especially a white or a paper birch, when you put that into your fire, it lets off this beautiful, sweet, smoky, pungent aroma that I just love. It's this really interesting, it's sweet without smelling confectionery, which I talk about before with a lot of these Oriental forward blends. And I really love that when you get that implied sweetness, but it's not the confectionery sweetness, to where it's kind of sweet, but it's not. And then it's kind of spicy, but it's sweet enough that it's not actually that spicy, and it does this kind of dance in between, but it's like the birch smoke, the kind of smell of when you start a bonfire with dried leaves, especially if you've got a lot of maple leaves that you throw in there, some pine needles that you throw in there. That kind of like resinous, pungent, resinous, burning smell of fir. Um, there's a lot of that where it's like incense. It's like incense, and those of you who smoke a lot of the English and Balkans, incense, woodsy, pungent incense is often a description for some of the flavor profiles and the tin notes as well. And I think it's a really good description, but I think that I'm starting to figure out that is that Yeninje leaf specifically. It's like this beautiful, ethereal, magical incense. It's just all those things. It's like the birch smoke, crackling of dead leaves, the burning resinous smell of fir trees, or if you're in like the high desert and you're in a pine grove, the smell, that citrusy, pungent, earthy smell of the sap running in the when it's hot. It's magical. To me, it's just purely, purely magical. And there is a high percentage of that in this blend. So if that sounds good to you, or you like those flavor nuances as well, and you haven't tried Royal from LJ Peretti, I highly, highly recommend this. If you like medium Englishes, if you're a fan of Orientals, I would bet that this will easily become into your top 10 English blends of all time. I would almost bet money on it. It's really that good. And it's one of those blends that as soon as you open it, it's just quality. You can just tell it's quality. The texture is perfect. I mean, it's got that beautiful texture where it's really dry. It's like light and crispy and dry, but when you squeeze it, it's got that nice springy, spongy texture still, and it's basically perfect right out of the bag, right out of your jar. Load it up and smoke it. Now I will say it's got a mature Virginia base, and if you draw on it hard or freight train your pipe, it will burn hot on you. So you really got to mind your cadence and keep your slow bowl etiquette proper if you're gonna really enjoy this blend. I mean, in fact, the first time that I smoked it, I smoked it a little bit hot, and I actually got a little bit of bite from it, which really, really surprised me. I was like, how in the world did I get some bite from an English blend? And I don't know. I think I packed it a little bit too tight and drew on it a little bit too tight, and it burned pretty hot, and it gave me a little bit of tongue bite. and I was a little bit disappointed, you know, because the flavors and the aroma were so good. But then I just spent some time with it, and I learned how to pack it properly, and I learned how to slow my cadence down. So this pipe tobacco, even though I've been smoking for a really long time, this pipe tobacco has actually really helped me level up my understanding of English blends and my understanding of the art of smoking a pipe, and just really added a whole new level to the enjoyment that I get from pipe smoking. It's really kind of leveled it up, and it's a great tobacco. I really recommend you try it if you haven't and you like English blends. Um, so it's like, well, let's talk about the tin notes since my pipe is out right now. It's got that really musky, woodsy, you know, it's got that kind of fermented tang, and it's got something really herbal. Honestly, the smell of it kind of reminds me of Gowith's Squadron Leader. It's not dissimilar. I think Squadron Leader's a little bit tangier, and it's got a little bit more spice. This is maybe a slightly subdued Oriental notes from that, but it's similar. It's got a similar smell. Like I almost get this kind of like rosemary and sage kind of note to it. But that's kind of like the tin note, and it's got, you know, a lot of those. We'd expect some of those kind of like deep wood smoke, campfire kind of barbecue, sweet kind of smells. It's got all that going on. And the flavor profile is just it that with the Virginia base, it's just like this on the first slide. It's like this bright bouquet of soury, tangy flavors. You get these soury, tangy flavors. You get a little bit of that smoke. It does a really fantastic job the way it's blended. It hits you kind of at the back of your tongue and the tip of your tongue all at the same time. Um, it's a really kind of tantalizing smoke. But yeah, so you get that just immediately. It's a bright bouquet of these sour, tangy notes. It kind of rolls into this buttery, fermented funk. Like it's got like a true, like if you ever had like real butter from churned from fresh raw milk, and it's got that raw milk funk. It's got this buttery funk. It's like the soury fermented notes hit with that buttery note, and on the roof of your mouth you'll get a little bit of that kind of that sweet creamy funk, and then it kind of hits you up and kind of tickles your nose a little bit, and get that kind of nasally spice, and it's like this almost like a peppercorn kind of flavor, like a really faint peppercorn, but not on your tongue. It's like the way that peppercorn, when you crunch something with a nice peppercorn in it, how it kind of dances just at the edge. It's like it's hovering in between your palate and your sinuses. It's got that really nice spice. It's not overpowering or unpleasant. It's just enough to really kind of bring it all back to that smoky, leathery fruit and bread flavors, and all those flavors just all kind of do this flowing dance, this like rhythmic dance, just over and over, and it's a beautifully complex flavor profile. It really is, and the quality of the tobacco, I imagine, is what lends to this aspect of it. But it's like it is the smoke is so light, the way it sits on your palate. It's almost like you're not even smoking. It's like the smoke itself inside your mouth is not even there, but the flavor is just so dense. There's just like a gravity of these flavors that just settles into your palate. I guess all I can say is it's expertly blended. It is, without a doubt, one of the finest English blends I have ever had the privilege to enjoy. It's yeah. I could probably keep going on, but I think I've painted a pretty vivid picture, or at least I hope I have. Um, because that's kind of how it hits me. It's a vivid, vibrant, beautiful, luxurious tobacco. Royal is definitely a great name for it. It's like a royal treat. But anyways, check out LJ Peretti's. If you're unfamiliar, check them out. I highly recommend it. Get on their website, read about it. You can look at their tobacco offerings, um, and do yourself a favor. If you like English blends, just go ahead and order. Just go ahead and order 8 ounces of Royal. I don't think you'll regret it. If you're not sure, if you're new to Englishes, they've got an English sampler. I think you get 1 or 2 ounce portions of I think 4 or 5 different Englishes. You won't regret it. Anyways, enough rambling for one evening. I had to relight my pipe too many times anyways because I'm too excited about talking. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy this episode of the Piper's Table, and I'll see you guys all again soon.